The thoughts we think and the words we speak are constantly shaping our world and our experiences, my dear one. And so many of us don't even realize how often we scatter our power simply by scattering our focus. I want to talk to you softly today, as if you and I are sitting together in a quiet room, just the two of us, breathing, listening, remembering who you truly are. You see, so many beautiful souls walk through life exhausted not because they lack strength, but because they give their strength to everything except themselves. They pour energy into worries that are not theirs, expectations they never asked for, and comparisons that only dim their light. And I want to tell you gently, when your focus leaves you, your power leaves you too. You have heard me say this for years. What you focus on expands. And it is true, my darling, not as a metaphor, not as poetry, but as a law of life so simple and yet so profound. Your mind is a garden, and every moment you choose what to water. If you water fear, fear grows. If you water self-doubt, self-doubt blossoms. If you water distraction, distraction spreads its roots everywhere. But when you water yourself, your inner world, your inner peace, your inner clarity, life reorganizes itself around that choice. Let me say that again, slowly, lovingly, so you can feel it land inside your body. When you focus on yourself, life focuses on you, not in a selfish way, not in a cold way, but in the most natural, aligned, harmonious way. You attract who you are. You attract what you hold. You attract what you give your attention to. And so, I want you to listen to me as if I am whispering this truth right into your heart. You cannot attract what is meant for you while you are chasing what is not. My dear, I have watched people for decades, thousands of them, all different, all unique, all beautiful, and yet almost everyone struggles with the same old habit, focusing outward and forgetting inward. They wonder why life feels heavy, why joy feels far away, why success feels difficult, why peace feels unstable. And I say to them, the same way I say to you now, sweetheart, you are not failing. You are simply giving your energy to the wrong direction. Because what happens when your attention is scattered? What happens when your mind jumps from person to person, from expectation to expectation, from fear to fear? Your power leaks, your clarity leaks, your joy leaks. And soon you feel empty, drained, confused, as if life is happening to you rather than flowing through you. But that is not the truth. The truth is this. When your focus returns to you, your life returns to alignment. Now let me tell you something very important. Success does not begin with action. Success begins with attention. Confidence does not come from people praising you. Confidence comes from you choosing yourself before the world chooses you. Peace does not arrive when everything outside becomes perfect. Peace begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself inside. So many people think manifestation begins with effort. Vision boards, routines, rituals, long lists of goals. Those things can be lovely, yes, but none of them matter if you have not yet learned to come home to yourself. Home is where the power is. Home is where the shift begins. Home is where alignment is born. And home, my dear, is not a place in the world. Home is your inner world. Let me say it clearly. You are the root. Everything else is the fruit. You cannot expect the fruit to grow if you do not tend to the root. When you nourish yourself, when you honor your energy, when you give your mind clean intention and your heart clean attention, life blossoms. And when you neglect yourself, when you pour into everyone but you, when you chase, compare, and overextend, the blossoms fade. It is never the outside. It is always the inside. Always. Some people tell me, Louise, I'm trying so hard to fix my life. And I respond lovingly, my dear, stop fixing, start focusing, because fixing implies something is broken. Focusing implies something is awakening. You are not broken, you are awakening. You are learning, remembering, realigning. You are discovering that the most powerful shift in the world is not changing your circumstances, it is changing your focus. Let me ask you gently, where is your attention today? On who misunderstood you? On who might be judging you? On what you fear you might lose? On what others may be doing better than you? Or is it with you, with your breath, with your inner guidance, with your beautiful, wise, sensitive soul? Because attention is energy, and energy creates reality. Which brings us to something I need you to understand with all your heart. Your energy is your currency. You spend it everywhere on thoughts, on fears, on hopes, on expectations, on conversations you replay only in your mind. And my dear, some of you are going bankrupt not in money, but in energy. You are not tired because your life is too full. You are tired because your mind is too loud. You are not drained because you do too much. You are drained because you think too much about everything and everyone except yourself. And I want you to hear me with all the love in the world. You do not need more time. You need fewer leaks. Successful people, calm people, aligned people, magnetic people, they do not have more hours than you. They simply waste less of themselves. They choose where their energy goes. They choose what deserves their focus. They choose themselves first, not last. And when you choose yourself, everything in your life begins to soften, organize, harmonize. I want to give you a picture. Imagine you are holding a beautiful cup of water. If there is one tiny crack, the water leaks slowly. If there are two cracks, it leaks faster. If there are many cracks, judgments, fears, comparisons, overthinking, the cup empties before you even take a single sip. This is what happens to your energy when your focus is everywhere except within. But imagine now, just for a moment, that you seal those cracks one by one. You stop chasing approval. You stop comparing. You stop apologizing for who you are. You stop carrying stories that were never yours. You stop investing in people who give nothing in return. Suddenly, the cup fills again. Suddenly, you feel alive again. Suddenly, life feels possible again. That is the power of focus. That is the power of energy alignment. And my dear, if you take one truth from this part of our conversation, let it be this. When you choose yourself, everything else chooses you. Opportunities, clarity, love, success, inspiration, they all align with you when you align with you. So let us take a breath together. Place your hand on your heart for a moment. Feel the warmth under your palm. Feel the rise and fall. Feel the life inside you. And whisper softly, my energy matters. My focus matters. I matter. Just that. Because this simple awareness, this gentle returning to yourself is the beginning of transformation. It is the beginning of manifestation. It is the beginning of alignment. And yet, my dear one, this is only the first step, because as we go deeper, there is something even more powerful we must explore. Something that will change the way you move through your days, your relationships, your dreams, and your entire inner world. And that is exactly where we will go next. And now, as we move deeper into this journey together, I want to guide you gently, lovingly, into a space where focus becomes practice and practice becomes transformation. Because knowing is beautiful, yes, but living what you know, embodying it, breathing it, allowing it to move through you, that is where the real shift begins. Let me speak to you the way I would speak to someone sitting right beside me, someone I adore, someone whose healing I believe in with my whole heart. You see, so many people try to change their lives through force pushing, demanding, controlling, judging themselves for not being better, faster, stronger. But healing never begins with force. Change never begins with pressure. Transformation never begins with self-criticism. Healing begins with presence. Change begins with willingness. Transformation begins with softness. So in this next part, I want to show you the practices that gently return your energy back home, that bring you back to yourself, back to clarity, back to the quiet power that has always lived inside you. Let us begin with the breath. Breath is the most faithful friend you will ever have. It never leaves you. It never punishes you. It never asks you to earn it. It simply waits for you to notice it. And the moment you do, the moment you breathe consciously rather than automatically, your inner world begins to shift. When you inhale deeply, you invite peace. When you exhale slowly, you release tension. When you breathe with intention, you move from reactivity into clarity. A single slow breath can break a lifetime of old habits. I've watched people in my workshops arrive trembling, overwhelmed, lost, and the moment they connect with their breath, their eyes soften, their shoulders fall, their hearts open. Breath is not small. Breath is not trivial. Breath is your doorway to inner peace. So try this with me, sweetheart. Inhale gently, as if you are receiving love. Exhale slowly, as if you are letting go of everything that has been heavy. Do this often. Do it daily. Do it because you deserve a mind that breathes freely. And then, movement. So many people forget that energy gets stuck in the body. Thoughts create tension. Worry creates contraction. Fear creates adrenaline. And when you do not move, that energy has nowhere to go. It becomes heaviness, fatigue, anxiety, irritation. But when you allow your body to move even softly, even for a moment, your energy begins to flow again. You do not need a gym. You do not need equipment. You only need willingness. Stretch your arms. Walk slowly. Rotate your shoulders. Shake your hands. Dance in your kitchen. Move like someone who is letting life back in. Every movement is a message to your body. I am alive. I am here. I am safe. And your body responds with gratitude. Your mind begins to clear. Your energy begins to rise. You feel lighter because you are lighter. Then the still practice is meditation, journaling, quiet reflection. My dear, your mind holds so many stories. Some are beautiful, some are painful. Many are not even yours. And when you never pause, never listen, never empty the noise inside, your energy becomes tangled, confused, overwhelmed. Meditation is not about emptying the mind. It is about untangling it. Journaling is not about being a great writer. It is about becoming a great listener to yourself. When you write, you pull thoughts out of your head and onto the page, and the moment they leave your mind, they lose their power to control you. When you sit quietly, even for 3 minutes, you create space. And in that space, clarity arrives, insight arrives, peace arrives. You begin to hear your inner wisdom again, the gentle voice that says, "This is the way." And I want you to remember the affirmation that anchors this practice, the one you and I will say together. I return my energy back to me. Say it softly, say it slowly, say it like a homecoming, because every time you speak these words, you call your scattered power back. You collect your attention. You gather the parts of yourself you left in worry, in fear, in comparison, in old memories. Every time you speak it, you reclaim what was always yours. And the more you practice it, the more natural it feels, until one day, without effort, your energy begins to stay with you instead of leaking toward everything and everyone around you. Now, my dear, we must talk about the inner voice, the one that lives inside you, the one that shapes your destiny more than anything in the outside world ever could. You see, the world can be kind to you or harsh to you, supportive or critical, loving or indifferent, but none of it has the power to shape your destiny unless you let its voice replace your own. The most important words you will ever hear are the words you say to yourself. Let me repeat that. The most important words you will ever hear are the words you say to yourself. If your inner voice is cruel, life feels frightening. If your inner voice is demanding, life feels exhausting. If your inner voice is filled with self-doubt, life feels impossible. But if your inner voice is kind, life softens. If your inner voice is reassuring, life opens. If your inner voice is loving, life transforms. Some people walk through their days thinking, I'm not good enough, I always fail, everyone else is better, what's wrong with me? And they wonder why their energy feels low, why their confidence feels fragile, why nothing they want seems to come easily. But I tell you gently, and with all the compassion in the world, your inner critic is draining you more than any challenge outside ever could. Criticism sabotages energy. Judgment poisons manifestation. Harshness suffocates your ability to rise. And this is why I have said, for decades, and I say it again to you now. You have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. My darling, you deserve a voice inside you that speaks to you the way someone who loves you would speak. Not punishment, not fear, not rejection. You deserve an inner world that is soft, safe, kind. A place where you can land after the world grows loud. A place where you can rest without being attacked. A place where you are loved simply for existing. So let us strengthen that voice together. Let us create a new inner dialogue, one that nourishes, one that protects, one that uplifts. Every time an old voice says, "You're failing," I want you to answer with compassion. "I'm learning." When the old voice says, "You're not enough," answer with love. "I am becoming." When the old voice says, "They're better than you," answer with truth. "I am on my own path." You are not here to compete. You are here to grow. You are here to shine in your own way. And the journey becomes so much easier when your inner voice becomes your ally. But the environment around you matters too far more than people realize. Your space is a mirror of your mind. A cluttered room reflects a cluttered inner world. A chaotic desk reflects chaotic thoughts. A disorganized home reflects disorganized energy. And while many people try to fix their minds while living in a space that drains them, they forget a simple truth. When you clear your environment, you clear your energy. Cleaning is not a chore. It is a spiritual practice. Organizing is not an obligation. It is energetic alignment, because your home holds your energy. It holds your history. It holds your emotions. Every object carries a vibration. Every corner carries a memory. Every drawer carries a story. And when you let your environment become heavy, your energy becomes heavy too. But when you bless your home with order, with clarity, with intention, the energy rises. You breathe differently. You think differently. You show up differently. Life responds differently. I have seen people change their entire emotional state simply by organizing one drawer because it reminds them, I can change something. I can create clarity. I can make space. And that feeling expands. So, my dear, if you want your life to feel clear, create a clear space. If you want your mind to feel peaceful, create a peaceful environment. If you want focus, create order. Your home is not separate from you. Your environment is not separate from your energy. They dance together. They reflect one another. And when one shifts, the other naturally follows. My dear one, let me begin this part by sharing a moment from many years ago, one that has stayed with me because of the truth it revealed, not just to the woman who sat before me, but to myself as well. She came in with tired eyes and a heavy heart, telling me how worn out she felt from trying to manage everything around her. "Louise," she whispered, "I feel like life keeps happening to me, and I'm just trying to keep up. I don't feel in control of anything." I reached out, touched her hand gently, and said, "Sweetheart, life is not asking you to control everything. Life is asking you to take responsibility for the one place where your power truly lives inside yourself. And I watched her eyes blink with surprise, as if that idea had never occurred to her. It's the same moment many people experience the first time they hear this truth. You do not control the world, but you absolutely control your responses, your thoughts, your energy, and your choices. And when you take responsibility for those, you take responsibility for your life. You see, my dear, responsibility is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. Not the heavy kind, not the self-punishing kind, but the loving kind that says, I am willing to guide my own mind and my own energy. So many of us were taught that responsibility meant guilt or blame. But blame keeps you stuck, and guilt shuts you down. True responsibility liberates you. It frees you from waiting for others to behave differently. It frees you from waiting for circumstances to change before you can feel peaceful. It frees you from feeling powerless. Responsibility says, I choose how I speak to myself. I choose what I believe about myself. I choose the direction of my energy. And when you choose those things consciously, gently, lovingly, you begin to reshape your entire world. I often tell people, the moment you stop blaming life for what it brings you and start choosing how you meet what life brings, everything shifts. You become powerful instead of passive. You become intentional instead of reactive. You become the creator, not the victim. And my dear one, that is when life begins to respond to you differently. Because the energy you carry inward becomes the energy you attract outward. Say these words with me softly, like a warm embrace around your heart. I choose to be the creator, not the victim. Let that truth settle into your bones. Feel how empowering it is. Feel how it opens your chest, how it lifts your posture, how it awakens your inner strength. This is the foundation. This is where inner freedom begins. And now, my darling, I want to talk with you about something equally important, trusting your process, even when you cannot yet see the results. I know how uncomfortable that can be. I know how uncertain it feels when you're doing the inner work, repeating affirmations, choosing new thoughts, practicing self-love, and yet nothing outward seems to change. But I want you to imagine a gardener planting seeds in the earth. The gardener knows that the moment the seed is planted, the process has already begun. Even though nothing is visible above the soil, life is happening beneath it. Roots are forming, energy is gathering, the seed is awakening, even in darkness. And this is exactly how your healing works. Just because you cannot see your progress yet does not mean nothing is happening. Healing, confidence, prosperity, emotional release, all of these require what I call ripening time. I have seen so many people give up just before the miracle simply because they could not see the roots forming. They say, it's not working, when in truth, everything is working. They say, nothing is changing, when the change is happening quietly, gently, invisibly. They say, I don't feel different, when what they really mean is, I want the flower before the roots. But life doesn't rush you, and you must not rush life. Patience is not waiting, it is trusting. Patience is an energy that says, I believe in the timing of my life. I believe the universe knows when I am ready. I believe the process is unfolding, even if I cannot see it. And this is one of the highest energies you can embody, because it allows you to stay aligned instead of anxious, open instead of tense, receptive instead of resistant. Let me tell you, my dear one, the universe is always responding to the energy behind your actions, not just the actions themselves. When your energy is frantic, you block your own blessings. When your energy is rushed, you interrupt your own flow. But when your energy is trusting, the universe has room to move. Many times in my own life, I did not see results right away, but I continued my affirmations. I continued my practice. I continued choosing thoughts that felt nourishing. And slowly, gently, beautifully, life rearranged itself in my favor. You are no different. Your time is coming. Your seeds are growing. Your roots are strengthening. And the moment the ripening is complete, the flower will bloom effortlessly. You will not have to force it. You will not have to beg for it. You will simply receive it because you stayed aligned long enough for the miracle to find you. Which brings us, my dear one, to one of the most important truths of all. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is something people resist at first, because wanting feels easier than becoming. But becoming is where magic lives. Becoming is where alignment happens. Becoming is where manifestation begins. You may say, I want love, but if you speak to yourself harshly, your energy does not match love. You may say, I want abundance, but if you feel unworthy, your energy does not match abundance. You may say, I want success, but if you carry self-doubt like a heavy blanket, your energy does not match success. And the universe always responds to energy, not longing. This is why focusing on your inner world is the most powerful path you can take. When you grow, everything around you grows. When you rise, everything aligned with you rises. When you choose healing, you attract healed relationships. When you choose clarity, opportunities become clearer. When you choose self-love, life mirrors that love back to you. You do not have to chase anything, not love, not success, not prosperity. You only need to align your energy with the version of yourself who naturally lives those experiences. It is not about forcing. It is not about pushing. It is about becoming the vibrational match for the life you desire. And you already know how to do this, my dear one. Every time you choose a thought that feels kinder, you raise your vibration. Every time you forgive yourself for an old mistake, you raise your vibration. Every time you breathe deeply instead of panicking, you raise your vibration. Every time you stop rehearsing old fears and begin imagining new possibilities, you raise your vibration. And when your vibration rises, your entire life begins to reorganize itself around that higher frequency. This is why I often say, everything aligned with my highest good finds me. And I want you to say it now, softly, lovingly, as if you are reassuring your own inner child. Everything aligned with my highest good finds me. Feel how comforting that truth is. Feel how it relaxes your shoulders. Feel how it reminds you that you do not need to force anything. What is meant for you cannot miss you. What is aligned with you will always come to you. What belongs in your life will always find its way, and what does not match your energy will gently fall away. My dear one, when you take responsibility for your inner world, when you trust the unseen timing of your growth, and when you align your energy with the highest version of yourself, you become a magnet for everything beautiful, everything nourishing, everything prosperous, everything loving. You stop chasing. You start receiving. You stop fearing. You start allowing. You stop questioning. You start trusting. And life begins to feel softer, safer, clearer, more meaningful. There is a moment in every healing journey when you realize that the world does not change when you push it, chase it, convince it, or rearrange it. The world changes when you change. Life bends when you soften. Doors open when you rise. Opportunities appear when you align. And everything begins to make sense the moment you turn your attention inward and say, "Let me focus on me first." You see, sweetheart, when you heal your inner world, your outer world begins to shift in ways that feel almost miraculous. When you release old fears, you stop attracting fearful situations. When you let go of resentment, you stop inviting painful patterns. When you choose self-love, you naturally attract those who know how to love. Life rearranges itself to match the energy you hold, not the energy you wish for, not the energy you pretend to have, but the energy you truly embody. This is why I tell you, again and again, to return to yourself, return to your breath, return to your truth, return to your worthiness, return to your heart. A person who tends lovingly to their inner world does not have to fight for alignment. Alignment comes to them. A person who honors their own energy does not have to beg life for goodness. Goodness flows naturally to them. A person who focuses on themselves with love becomes a magnet for all that is meant for them. When you heal yourself, life heals with you. When you love yourself, relationships begin to shift into harmony. When you trust yourself, opportunities open that were never visible before. When you raise your energy, the universe responds with a matching vibration, for it cannot do anything else. That is the law. That is the nature of energy. That is the truth of this life. So today, my dear, I want to end this part with affirmations spoken slowly, intentionally, lovingly, each repeated 3 times, so they land in your subconscious mind like seeds dropped into fertile soil. And after you repeat them for yourself, I will speak the final version directly to you, because sometimes your heart needs to hear it not as a self-instruction, but as the truth someone sees in you. Say these with me now, gently. I focus on myself with love. I focus on myself with love. I focus on myself with love. I honor my energy. I honor my energy. I honor my energy. I trust my path. I trust my path. I trust my path. Everything aligned with my highest good is already on its way to me. Everything aligned with my highest good is already on its way to me. Everything aligned with my highest good is already on its way to me. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. And now let me say these to you, the way I would look into your eyes and say them if we were together in the same room. You focus on yourself with love. You focus on yourself with love. You focus on yourself with love. You honor your energy. You honor your energy. You honor your energy. You trust your path. You trust your path. You trust your path. Everything aligned with your highest good is already on its way to you. Everything aligned with your highest good is already on its way to you. Everything aligned with your highest good is already on its way to you. All is well in your world. All is well in your world. All is well in your world. And as these words settle gently into your heart, remember this truth. When you tend to your inner world with love, life cannot help but rearrange itself to match the beauty you cultivate within.